Okay, I just received some great news. It looks like we are starting the next run early. And yeah, make sure to get locked in. Make sure to take notes because I'm sure No Name is going to destroy this run. This is Pseudoregalia done by No Name. And it is the Villa Percent run. Yeah. No Name, please take it away.
Hello, I'm IHNN, also known as I Have No Name or No Name. I literally never played Pseudoregalia before being given to me. I'm joined on commentary by my teacher, Wilbun. Say hello.
Hello.
I don't know how much I'll be saying during the run because the movement is a little precise and a little off timing. You just kind of don't get anything. So, yeah, I mean, I think I'm good to just jump into it if you are as well.
Let's end it.
Yeah, rip the Band-Aid off. Not that save. All right, and starting.
Alrighty, so Pseudoregalia, it's a 3D platforming Metroidvania made by one developer, and I encourage you, if you enjoy what you see in the next 30-ish minutes, to go and check it out on Steam. It's only like $5, and it's a complete steal. It's quite a short game. It's only about 6 hours, but it has some of the sickest movement in any game, honestly. I love platformers. This is the game that got me back into speedrunning after playing like Super Mario Odyssey way back in the day. And this is our main character, Sybil, here. It is like any Metroidvania. We have sort of an open world to traverse and to discover. And our exploration of that world is only barred by the movement options that we're going to have. So we're going to be looking for a few more upgrades to our movement, which will allow us to traverse to different areas of the map. And the final goal for this game is to defeat the Princess final boss, which can be unlocked by collecting 5 major keys that are hidden around the map. And so again, we're just going to be moving around, finding a few upgrades to our movement capabilities and looking for those 5 major keys. Now we are about to pick up the most critical of those upgrades, and that is the slide. And the slide not only allows us to move faster, but it allows us to perform 2 very critical and also very difficult movement techs in the game. One is called the Ultra Hop, and this essentially you're about to see. There it is. It allows us to do like a super backflip. So it allows us to go very high. And the other one is the Glide Hop, which allows us to go very fast. Now, they're both built off the same principle, which is the slide cancel. And essentially, during the slide animation, if you do a few movement options, you can cancel that slide. So the Ultra Hops you're seeing here, again, those super high backflips, are done by sliding, canceling that slide by pressing jump and back, and then immediately pressing jump and forward again to initiate the backflip. All of these inputs are very precise. They're not quite frame perfect, but the frame window is very small. And it's not just one frame window you're hitting, it's 2 frame windows since it's a total of 3 inputs.
It's also been a little soul-crushing trying to learn.
Absolutely.
Because there are places where you absolutely need a good one. And it's very hard to tell if you're getting a good one or not. This upgrade here is actually not one that is required, but I could not do the route without it, so extra upgrade.
Yeah, and this upgrade you'd see in all of the 100% route, as well as the all abilities route. And as you can see right there, it helps us bounce off of enemies.
Yeah, it makes it so that when you hit something, Sybil bounces up in the air a little bit.
Yeah, and there will also be these dark orbs around the map, which we'll see a little bit later. And you can also bounce off of those with a Dreambreaker swing. Now you'll also see No Name is using Bunny Hop a lot. So if you initiate a glide hop or you slide off a ledge just like that, you can maintain that speed by continuing to bunny hop as much as possible. Now you lose a little bit of speed each time you bunny hop, but that is kind of essentially what we're trying to go for the entire route in terms of maintaining our horizontal speed. You'll also see that gold trail, that slide gold trail behind Sybil's character when she does certain movement options. So if you see an Ultra Hop that has that gold trail behind it, that means that No Name essentially performed those inputs perfectly. And there's a little Death Warp. It's used more in the 100% route, but it's always fun to use a few times here in the any percent route as well.
And that's what happens if you mistime the inputs just a little bit.
Yeah, so very punishing. This section of the game, it's called Tower, and it is absolutely the most difficult section over time. Certainly as a beginner, it's difficult. As an expert, it's difficult. It just never gets easier. And you'll see right here, No Name is going to, nicely done, perform a series of Ultra Hops over these gaps, and they're all very precise, and if you miss one, you have to start the sequence over again.
Yeah, this took me the longest to get the first time. I'm going to take the pole safe because sometimes you can have your inputs eaten coming off a pole, and then you just fall.
Yeah, the game definitely has some jank in it, being an indie game. There are some ledges that you should grab and it won't grab. There's some
like
action.
Right there?
There's the famous ledge. That ledge is famous. For some reason, Sybil will just not grab if you're in that exact spot, which is pretty infuriating.
Yeah, had she grabbed there, this would have been the fastest I've done this part.
Yeah. Yeah, so you can see, it doesn't get any easier. We're moving towards getting our next upgrade, which is Cling. It's essentially a wall run. And we're not supposed to be there yet. Nicely done. And so we have to perform a lot of these very specific, very tight Ultra Hops to get to this area earlier than intended. Picking up a save there just to make sure we're all safe. And you can see No Name also going for a slide cancel off the edge there to try to maintain some bunny hop speed.
It is much easier than trying to do glide hops everywhere.
Yes.
That should make it.
And just for reference, glide hops, like I mentioned, is the way that a lot of runners essentially get that slide off of a ledge speed without using a ledge.
Like that.
Like that. That was a perfect one. And it's built off that slide cancel mechanic again. So instead of canceling it into a backflip like we do for the Ultra Hop, we're canceling a slide into another slide and then jumping out of that slide, which lets us maintain the speed of the slide into a hop.
That's the use of the Cling Gem to get up here. If you get 3 of these, you get an extra hit point. I really want that extra hit point, even though it's not necessary.
Yeah, so absolutely something to mention here is that the final boss is difficult. It's kind of like a Kaizo boss fight. It's almost like a bullet hell sometimes. The boss is warping around and shooting a bunch of projectiles at you. And if you only have 3 health, it is very, very difficult. Many runs have been lost during the final boss fight, and that is not a good time to die.
In all of my practice, I have only had 1 fight that would have survived with 3 health.
Yeah. it's super difficult. Even if you watch like the top runs, people are getting through that with like half a health and stuff. We're using Cling Gem here to get out of bounds. The developer forgot to enclose a few walls, so you'll see that we are completely out of bounds now. We're on top of the structure that is the inside of Sansa Keep. And No Name is about to perform a cling clip, so this is why we grabbed Cling. Nice. That was clean.
It always takes me longer to get through the wall.
Nice. Cool. So that was 2 clips out of bounds. And yeah, so Cling is fun to use. It's a nice wall run mechanic to have. But the reason why we get in any percent is because we get to clip out of bounds with it. Now the way that works is essentially when you're clinging to a wall, you face Sybil's legs face the opposite direction of the way you are clinging, and her legs will often kind of poke through the geometry. And if you do this in very specific corners and often near 90-degree edges, her body will be out of bounds enough that the game is confused as to whether she is clinging to the wall that is on the out-of-bounds side or the inbound side. So doing that perfectly, we can get through literal walls here. You're about to see another one after we pick up one more piece to get we need 3 health pieces to get a full health here. Nice. That is another clip to get through that area. Usually we would need the Sunsetter upgrade to break that.
It is only like 45 seconds out of the way. It's not actually that far, but with the runs 20-25 minutes, that's a decent chunk of time. Sybil, please go up. Sybil, please go up. Thank you.
Nice. And you can see that gold trail right there. That indicates the perfect ultra hops. That means all of No Name's inputs were perfect. And I cannot stress enough how difficult that is. I think it took me easily like over 100 hours of playing this game to feel like I was actually consistent enough at them to be getting competitive times. So this is a very hard game to learn in general, let alone learn in 90 days. So No Name is doing amazing right now.
Yeah, the entire reason I get Ascendant Light is just for that room back there. It reduces it from 3 really difficult jumps to just 1 that's kind of difficult. And if you fail the timing on it, you can also just retry right away if you just bonk the orbs again.
So now we are heading back up to the Sansa Keep. We've now picked up 2 major keys. We've picked up the one in the underbelly area that we just left, and we already picked one up in Sansa Keep. And now we are going to head to the theater area, which by far, I mean, this is my opinion, but it has the best song in the game. The soundtrack for this game has to be mentioned. It is so good, so well written, and yeah, it goes
It's pretty hard to beat the princess theme, honestly.
True, that's another good one. Yeah. It's also worth mentioning that every bunny hop, this entire game has a slight buffer system. So a lot of the inputs you're kind of doing like a millisecond before you actually see it in game. So getting good at all of the ultra hops and the bunny hops and the glide hops is very dependent on just putting in a lot of time. You see that dark goo below. No Name is death, so we're trying not to hit that right now. And here's a scary swinging axe room. We're staying right in the middle of those axes to get by them. Very nicely done. And then another unintentional area we're trying to get to by using some more precise ultra hops and some clings.
There's a tiny ledge here I found that makes that much easier.
Yeah, I literally didn't even
Sybil
know
just
that
will
ledge
not
was
fall
there.
off that ledge. I would sometimes do a slide down here, but I'd rather not fall all the way.
Yeah. So for the theater key, we need to hit 3 switches to unlock the cage that the key is in. We just hit 2 of them. We're on to our last one, and you can see that No Name is doing another cling clip. Again, in this corner, we're clinging away from the area that we want to clip into, just like that. And then we're hitting the switch from the out of bounds area and falling back into bounds. Very nicely done. That is hard to do.
That does not happen often.
Yeah, the ceiling skates are very glitchy and jank, so that was awesome. And looks like we're grabbing our last health piece to get at least 4 health. That's going to help a lot in the boss fight.
Yeah. I like going under here.
Nice. And believe it or not, we're actually almost done with this run. We have 2 more keys to pick up, but they're on the way back to the tower where the boss door is. The tower being that area where we got the cling upgrade. And these are thankfully pretty easy to get. The final key is actually just in front of the boss door, essentially. So we save that until the very end. Nice, gonna use some cling to... There's a large area of goo under where we just jumped over, so...
That room took me so long to find movement I liked doing there.
Yeah. And this is the empty Bailey. This is the area outside of tower. And we're just hopping over to grab our last key, which is up on these pedestals here. And watching out for those enemies. I haven't even mentioned the enemies yet because during the speed run they're not that important. The only reason to interact with any of the enemies is to level up our indignation, which was an upgrade we got pretty early in the run. You can see that meter on the left-hand side is completely full. When it's empty, that 3 is a 1, and it's essentially just a power level. So we get power, we increase our meter by hitting enemies, and when it's completely full, we are at power level 3, which is also going to aid us in the boss fight. Our damage on the boss goes up pretty exponentially.
I think you do just straight double damage.
Yeah, yeah. This is a fantastic run. Gonna pick up a save here just in case things go completely awry in the boss fight.
You do get an autosave at the entrance to the boss room, but I'm just used to grabbing the save because I don't always have full health here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's something. Oh, nice Ultra Hop. That was perfect.
Oh,
and another
of all the times to get it. Of all the times to get it.
That is the scariest Ultra Hop in the game because essentially we're going to the boss fight now, and if you've gotten that far, you have a good time. Missing that one, another precise Ultra Hop that you need to get to a wall cling is really difficult, completely nerve-wracking. But yeah, you saw we just picked up the last key. We are heading into the boss fight. And Princess is basically all RNG. She has a few different attacks she'll use, and she teleports after using every attack. And the timer for when she teleports next starts when we hit her. So the name of the game for this boss fight is to dodge her attacks as much as possible, wait for them to be over, hit her as much as we can, and then try to locate her next teleport. Nice. And you can see there are some attacks that you can bounce back, like these orbs, and that volleyball attack do a little extra damage.
I went for a slide, it's too slow. Yeah, I'm actually going to take a moment to heal here.
Nice.
If I'm going to need to heal, I want to do it in the first phase because it's much harder to in the second phase.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can see that orb does a lot of damage, but there's a glitch
entire orbs.
Yeah, you can swing through it to negate any damage to yourself. The timing is a little precise on that. And also worth mentioning that healing does take some of your meters, so you're kind of constantly balancing how much damage you want to do to Princess and how much health you want to have. But we're looking good.
Doesn't feel good right now.
I think you're doing great. Getting a little unlucky with those. That's a hard attack. She literally teleports right behind you and immediately starts her attack. So those are hard to get through. That glass breaking sound means we are about halfway through the fight. We're in our second phase. She's going to turn up the heat a little bit.
How did that hit me?
Yeah, good heal there. And we should be getting pretty close to the end. Time is going to be on the last hit of Princess. So I will let you know when that is. Getting pretty close. Oh my gosh, you gotta be like a few hits away.
Where's she?
Come on. Oh. Oh my gosh. We're almost there.
That's a good attack to get.
Yes, time.
That's time.
Nicely done.
1957 on my timer. I'll take it. Second best run.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, this game does have an auto splitter I had going. I lost time on almost every split to PB, which is only 33 seconds faster than that. So I cannot complain.
Yeah, that was a really clean run.
Yeah, thanks, Goat Bunny Cat Lady. Yeah, that is Pseudoregalia. I'm not sure if there's anything else to do or show here. I think it's kind of just, it's the run of the game.
Well, actually, I got a quick question for you. Do you have any final words, or how do you believe that this run went?
This run went really well, honestly, better than I had expected. It was fun. It was fun to pick this up.
That's good. That's good. And I got a question for you, actually, Wilbun. First of all, I gotta say, awesome run. Just previous to this, thank you very much for that. But how do you feel that No Name did?
Amazing. Yeah, like I said, just the basic speed tech to learn in this game. It's a pretty hard learning curve. So yeah, I mean, a 19-minute run is absolutely fantastic, and I think a good a 10 or 11 minutes off of the first run that I saw back when you started learning this game. So yeah, amazing progress. And again, if you guys like this game, go check it out. It's only $5 on Steam. If you like platforming, it's got, sick movement, as you just saw.
Yeah. There is one other ability that I did not choose to get that is pretty nice. It's very helpful casually. It's called Solar Wind, and it basically makes it so you can just naturally jump straight out of a slide, and this lets you get movement out of it. So this makes casual movement feel really good in a way that it makes you feel like speedrunning movement, even though it's totally normal.
And that's one thing that doesn't translate when you're watching someone game is how good the movement is, because I've seen runs where it's like, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing this a specific way? And it's just like, okay, well, it's like we're on skates on a platformer. So I'll take your word for it that the controls actually feel really nice.
Yeah, Solar Wind was really fun to use casually. There's also Sunsetter, which is like a ground pound, but you can also get a high jump out of that. I found that really fun casually as well.
That's good. That's good. Well, No Name, since we've seen you do this run, what was the game that you posted to Speedromizer?
I put in Helen's Mysterious Castle, which was run, I think it was last Saturday. It was by Karabachi. It was a really good run there, too. Really well explained.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And then I was also part of the Toho Replay Showcase crossover, where I put in Mountain of Faith and learned Double Dealing character.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, I have to say, you two, thank you so much for joining us. And yeah, let's go ahead and get ready for the next game. Thank you so much, No Name and Will Bun 84.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.